Antoine, your fuck-up story. I'm looking forward to that.
Okay, so I'm going last. So thank you for those of you who stayed. It was really interesting, everything I learned before. My fuck-up stories are... So I really wanted to follow the rules. We will come back to it, but there are rules, and it says, like, don't try to promote, like, try to be vulnerable. So I'm going to talk about real fuck-up, like some things I even still regret for some of them. And it's all based on how I did manage my emotion. So I was actually coached as an executive at Pro Bono Lab to manage my emotions for a year after that. So hopefully I'm not going... hopefully I'm not going to do this kind of mistakes again. So I'm not going to talk about the time where Armin and I tried to break into a hotel and rob the bar. And I'm not going to talk about those Tinder dates in Belém last summer, Johan, you know, like pure failures. So I'm just going to talk about emotion and friendship, because friendship for me is maybe the most important thing in life. I would be nowhere without my friends, so for so many reasons. So, but friendships give you a lot of emotion. And when you start a business and you build a business with two friends, Johan and Emily, well, sometimes friendship gets you in the wrong place at the wrong time. Just very shortly, because maybe we don't know everyone in the room, but Pro Bono Lab is an organization that was created 6 years ago. We made a specialty of the Pro Bono Marathon, and we basically spread the Pro Bono Marathon model in more than 20 countries over the last 5 years in an open source way. I see many people in the room who were there. This was one of the last training I gave. It was last year in Detroit. There were 17 organizations at the National Conference on Volunteering and Service. So stop for the promotion, but coming back to friendship and where it leads you. It leads you to say the wrong words at the wrong time sometimes. What are these kind of words? It's the kind of words that you shouldn't say first, and it's the kind of words that people don't forgive. It's the kind of words people don't forget because they don't understand, but it's too late. It's done. So I'm going to take 3 examples. The first one, with my friend. So I tried to translate because this was in French, but at this moment I was Pro Bono Lab's second president. So we had a rolling presidency. Johan was president the first year, I became president the second year, and it was the third year, and we were going to hire Johan and Emily. I was still doing my studies, so I couldn't get hired, and I was the president. And there was an issue with the contract, because it was a contract backed by the government with funds, and I was not sure that they would match the criteria of this contract. So I was like, I'm not sure, I'm the president. Like, if I sign a contract and I'm, you know, this is illegal. Like, because we had like this contact who was like, I'm going to do the contract, don't worry, don't worry. I was like, yeah, but I'm going to jail. Like, basically, if I sign the contract and it's not clear. So I said, okay, if this is not clear, I'm not going to sign your contract. Johan, Emily, and I have always been equal in these projects. At this time, I just broke the equality. I took advantage of my power position because I was afraid I would become illegal. I was afraid I was going to jail. So this was a big mistake. It was remembered to me every year almost by Johan and Emily after that. It was something like very, very painful for them and for me too, I think, in the years after that. So it was a wrong word. What did I learn from that? Couple things. First, who set the rules? Who execute the rules? And who leads investigations? These 3 roles, you know, like legislative power, you know, executive power and judiciary power. So, and it's always something we didn't really manage within the non-profit. We didn't know. And we had 3 different spirits. One was all on like setting the rules, the other one was on executing, and the last one was on leading investigations. And we just figured it out in Belém, speaking about it with Johan this summer. So, long time after that. And it was a big source of conflict. Also, there was something else. What is law? Is law an ideal? Or is law a minimum? For many people, respecting the law is a minimum. Like, as a minimum, you need to respect the law. That was my position. But when you're an entrepreneur, and not just an entrepreneur, many times law is an ideal. I used to be a Boy Scout. When you're a Boy Scout, you make a promise. You promise to do your best to abide to the Boy Scout law. And it's clearly explained that this Boy Scout law is an ideal that you should pursue, but you will never reach it. So here the question was, can we follow the law? But I used to be a chief Boy Scout, actually. There is a law that you need to clean tables with Javel water every 4 hours when you take care of the young children. But who does that? Like, no one does it. You can't. You are supposed to have, like all these panels in your offices, like one unique document of like 500 pages that you're able to show in 2 minutes to any inspector who comes. Like, no one does that. Well, so is the law an ideal or a minimum? And at this moment, I really thought it was a minimum to respect the law. And no, I really see, as an entrepreneur, most of the time it's an ideal. Which is the case for pro bono. I'm linking into pro bono. No one should ignore the law. That's the ideal. I mean, obviously we don't know all the fiscal law, we don't know the taxes, we don't know like all of this, and that's where pro bono is an ideal, to just help people, understand the law, understand their rights, and that's why we pursue this ideal, I think, doing pro bono. That's where it comes from. So. Okay, another one. I don't want to be poor all my life. I think it was something like this at a board meeting. It was bad. It was the most costly negotiation ever. So, like, what happened is, like, I wanted us to, like, raise the wages of everyone at Pro Bono Lab over the course of 2-3 years. So we had a plan to raise all the wages of the whole organization, the whole employees. And the leaders, Johan, Emilie, and I would finish at something like 3,000 euros a month net after 5 years leading this organization. So, for me, it was not being rich. I had many startups in my environment becoming millionaires or more, and I was like, I'm just running a non-profit. I just need, like, this amount. Like, that's my goal after 5 years, like working 70 hours a week. And when the board starts saying, yeah, don't you think it's too much? It's going to be a heavy cost structure. I just like, I don't want to stay poor all my life. Which was extremely rude. Extremely rude, because in the room there were people, like volunteers from our board, that wouldn't earn these amounts of money. So it just get me, like, after that I really changed my mind on money, and if you see the board meeting and the way money is, I think I just changed my mind on wealth too. Like, I really feel most of the wealth you have in life doesn't come from money. Just put it this way. Okay, another one. Oh yes, let's do this. I just said so too many times. So, well, for the record, this picture was taken in Russia, where I was supposed to be 2 weeks ago for a conference, but I just forgot to do the visa procedure, and I realized it at the airport. So, so I just like, okay, I'm not boarding this plane. I'm not coming back. So I think it's very important that you don't say yes too much, and it's often the wrong word at the wrong time. Like, just don't say yes. Like, just don't say nothing. If you can't say no, just don't say nothing. Like, no words. Okay. No, wrong one. So after that, so let's say he jumped or he failed, or like he just said yes one time to more. So the question after that is, where are you? Like, you're all mixed. Okay, I just said yes. No, how am I going to cope with it? Like, how am I going to do something? And in the end, what I think is that if you say yes all the times, it's because you, oh, I need to come back to something. Do I? No, I won't. Okay, I fucked up. But it's okay. So it's just because you are motivated, you have passions, you have mission, and it's something very good, something that's pushing you, and it's actually okay to say yes too many times. It's actually okay to set ambitions that are like something you're not sure you can reach, to challenge yourself. I think that's very important. So I used to be director of strategy for Pro Bono Lab for 1.5 years. And I've been doing strategic planning for many other organizations. And I have one way to approach it is to set Promethean goals. If you don't set goals that people feel they're never going to be able to reach, they don't get the adrenaline. They don't get motivated. So you need to set goals that you're not going to reach in the time with the deadlines. But you need to set a goal that people want to pursue. I'm coming back to the ideal. So most of the time I do a strategic planning, and then, well, you engage people around it, and then you just don't match the deadlines. But when you reach the deadline and you haven't delivered, the people are like, yes, but we still want to deliver that. So just postpone the deadlines. And this will work, and we are still engaged. And it actually binds us stronger because we still have the same goal, even if we are facing the failure, so we are failing together. So I just say, like, you know, being on top of this, like, trying this is maybe not a bad idea. Okay, so just to finish, and a little bit of promotion, so just to choose my word. How do I do now to choose my word and to say the right words at the right time? I'm a musician. I write lyrics and I sing. That's what I do. So, well, I just put something here. You can find it. The name is Grand Soir. I've been doing it like since I was 6 years old, and I just realized it's really this, like, it's the moment where I can master my speech. I can say exactly what I said. I've like worked on these words like 100 times. I've sing them 1,000 times before I go on stage, and I only say the right words at the right time. So that's my solution.
Thank you, Antoine. Thank you very much. Well, thanks to everyone who raised their hand and shared a story about their mistake and failure. Thank you, Elizabeth, Renee, Antoine, Shalap. It ain't easy to go here and, you know, reflect on that. We're not exercising this too often to talk about mistakes. Even as an organization, you always talk about the successes. You want to talk about those stories. It's nice and easy to talk about successes. It is hard to talk about mistakes, and I think the Fuck Up Night is also an exercise. You know, an exercise in realizing the mistakes you did and thinking about them. And I invite you all now to continue those conversations, bilateral and in groups, for the rest of the evening.
Yeah, so we have more appetizers upstairs and, more importantly, unlimited drinks for the rest of the evening. The bus is leaving promptly at 10, correct? Andras is looking at someone. Oh, here we go.
Well, I don't know if we have Orsi somewhere here, because we had the feeling that maybe people are tired, so I asked her if we should. So this is actually like a quick question to you, because I had the feeling that the people are a bit tired. So is it okay if we leave like half an hour before, or you really want to stay here and finish all the drinks? So you'll have to go quicker, and I think it's okay. We'll leave at 9:30, okay? And please, we have the GIFME, the photo booth. Use that, because tomorrow will not be there. Okay, and now that I have the microphone, maybe you haven't finished, but...
How's that drink?
I have only one hand, and I have actually 6 bottles here.
Oh.
This is just to thank to the presenters and our 2 wonderful hosts. So please grab one, because I cannot hold this for too long.
Cool.
Now, this is the difficult part. Renee, Elizabeth, Antoine, and Schlav.
Yay.
I just want to say one more thing. I know this is not the end, and you can still continue, but, well, this is how it goes. I'm really impressed, and thank you very much. I mean, this has been 4 wonderful presentations, really, honestly. Thank you.
Yeah.
Quick note, I only have a carry-on, so if anyone wants to talk about it.
Yeah, so thanks again to everyone. Enjoy the rest of the evening. Thank you, Andras, for setting all this up. I think you did a great job. And a round of applause to you and all the volunteers and everyone of your team who's making this possible.
Well, thank you, and I hope that this will be and this will stay as a tradition. Well, let's not make too much plans, but maybe some hint for the next global summit or for the next European summit. Thank you.
Yeah.
Cool.
Enjoy the night.